Hey, it's Dave from Bullpen Cycles, and we are with George Jr. with his father's bike, and I don't even know what to say. We've never seen this before.
Yeah, well, I've heard of this happening. I've never experienced it, and
We are at this sleepy little town, but this is just a stop on the way to our secret destination. Where are we going? Well, here, I'll give you a hint. There's your hint. But before we get there, we are here. And, well, they cleaned up this sleepy town. It's been a couple of years since we were here. This is Imperial, Pennsylvania at Dphanos, well, it's now Dphanos Motorcycle Repair. You might remember Joe. He's the fellow that helped me with my Larry Nance magnesium frame NHRA Sportster Dragster. We're now here with this, and I'll tell you about this in a sec. But first, let's take a look inside. Then we're gonna get unloaded, and we'll tell you about this current project. And here we have out front the Honda Dream, and it can be yours. Did you restore this?
No, I'm not. I just went over it for him.
So you got it running from him?
Yeah.
Did he have it running, or did he buy it restored and it's the first time that it ran?
No, it ran, but he wanted me to go over and make sure it was roadworthy.
I get a couple of these customers buy them at an auction, and they never ran.
Right.
And that's for sale, so you can drop me a message if you want for more details. Joe's always working on stuff. We don't have to pry. So it is a Model 8. I thought that was a 3, but that's an 8. 4-speed, matching numbers, and that's a customer.
Yes. Now that one sat for almost 50 years in his basement.
I just sold a Model 8 at my auction. I have another one though. Huh. That's cool. So I won't pry. What's on the back of your truck though?
That's old, used and abused TM125.
Oh, is that what you're riding, or is that?
I have too many projects ahead of time.
Yeah.
My TM250 is
All right.
first on the list.
Cool. Show this wall hanger here, because a lot of people aren't going to know what that is. So, you know what? I'm going to make it a contest. If you know what that is, and you're the first person to answer, and you're not already a friend or acquaintance who's going to guess, I know who's going to guess. I have to exclude him. So if you're a new viewer or a subscriber and you know what that is, the first person to comment, you'll win a t-shirt. Large, extra large, or 2X is all I have, so send in your guesses. So here is our project. This is a 1990 Sportster. Now we get to see our classified kit up close. They made 39 of these kits, and then the guy passed away. Ankront wheels for it. This is back at the beginning of the retro bike craze. Harley came out with the Heritage Softail. There weren't any new Triumphs left. If you wanted an English bike, you had to build it. You either restored one, and back then parts were not plentiful. Well, this fellow decided to make a kit for your Harley, and this is a 1990 1200 Sportster. And I wanted a 1990 or older, 87 through 90 would have been the Evo kit. So I wanted chain drive. Look, you get a English style Vincent seats. You get stainless steel fenders. You get Siamese exhaust. A Vincent style pipe. You get what's supposed to be a Vincent look-alike headlight, or at least a big Lucas looking thing. Battery box. A different air cleaner cover. Fork gaiters. Cables. Different horn, levers. All kinds of stuff. I'm not sure how it all goes. There's no instructions. This stuff all came originally shipped in a big wooden crate. And we are probably building the last, oh, I left the light on. The last of these kits. Well, here we are. We have George Roeder's bike reunited with George Roeder. Well, Junior. When did you see it last?
In person?
Yeah.
What? Probably 30 years ago? You know what I'm saying?
How old were you when your dad finished it?
Dude, probably in my 20s at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Then you weren't tiny.
Like 25 or so, I mean.
Yeah.
I wish Mike Atkins, he was instrumental. He's passed away.
So now,
I had to ask Herb Harris. He probably would know.
So, I'm told it was on display at Daytona at Rossmeyer's for a bunch of years.
Right.
Did Herb own it when it was on display?
I think he sold it to him.
Oh, and then somehow what's that guy? JP,
John
Barnes bought it then.
Yeah.
Well, when it was at the auction, there was a guy on Facebook that just kept disparaging it. And I think that the word got out because he called it a tribute bike, said the frame was a repop, said the brakes were wrong, just ripping it up. He didn't even call it an XR. It wasn't even a replica. It was a tribute bike. And I don't care. It was your dad's bike. So then, when I got it, I'm going to show you. I got all this literature from your dad. Explains how he built it. You know, he got the frame from Harley. The brakes were from everything that the guy complained about. He said, "Well, the brakes were from your dad's race bike," and so it's really cool to share that with you. But yeah, there's always these people that know more than everybody else.
I know who it is.
Oh, you know who that was?
Oh yeah. You don't know him?
I might. I don't really worry about names, but
right. Everybody's a critic, huh?
Well, I'm glad it made it all the way to Florida and Pennsylvania here without a scratch. I was worried if it was going to fall over. Oh, they're not hydraulic brakes. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's because it's that 4-shoe drum.
Right.
You can grab that and tell me where to go with the bike.
I was going to put it on the lift. Do you think we can put it right on that lift there?
Oh, okay. We don't need to stand.
Right, sorry. Yeah, that's cool.
You saw that. You heard the story. I was sick at the side of the road with COVID. I left early. You remember that?
Yeah.
And the flathead went for like 50 grand. I said, well, if that flathead, it was yellow. It was raced at Daytona. But if that flathead went for 50 grand, George's bike should go 70. And then nobody was bidding on it.
Right.
And then, so I bid on it, and there were a couple of bids, and it went up to like 50. And I said, well, I was sick. I'm at the side of the road, so I said no. And then those bids disappeared. They weren't real. And they put mine back on and hammered it down. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was just God's word, you know. So, this is what came with it. Here's a letter from your dad. Does that look like his signature?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's Dad.
And then he has a genuine XR that he used in races, a factory XR750TT frame that he got from Harley, parts from his racers, including the oil tank, the carbs, the tack, and more. And he said something about the brakes. And then there's pictures here. This is how to care for it, about the paint. There's instructions on how to start it, which I don't know. Oh, it's Herb. Herb signed these.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Fontana brake.
Yeah.
The rear brake system.
Them are real hard to find, them Fontana brakes.
Well, they repop them.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, because I had to get a Cherryani for that dragster that you did the engine on. So these are pictures from the build.
Oh, really?
Was that in somebody's kitchen or something?
Yeah.
Do you remember that floor?
Yeah, well, that's... Looks like they're at home down there, but yeah, wow.
Here, I'll put them
That's
over here. So, like, I don't know, do these have a battery?
no.
So it's a magneto? So you have to start them on a paddock starter.
Yeah, you got a rear stand for it, huh? Rear wheel stand.
Oh, the one that came with it. I didn't bring my paddock starter. Wasn't thinking. I don't think so. Wait, are you on?
I'm on.
So am I. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I always had it the other way, but maybe you're right.
Well, yeah.
So what tires would have been on it? These Goodyears? Like on the front?
Yeah, that's what they used back then. Eh?
Yeah. Okay. So that's dry rotted out. So
Yeah.
the back one probably rotted off.
Right. It's hard to get. I'm gonna send a picture to John Steele. Have you ever dealt with John Steele?
I think I talked to him on the phone. He's local here somewhere.
He's far from here.
Yeah. So there's no battery. There's no kit. So you have to use a paddock starter.
Yes.
And how does the fairing come off?
Well, it looks like these are all should be tucked inside.
So does it have a fuel pump?
No.
So that's gravity, even though it's got to go over that.
Right, yeah.
Let's look in it if we can. It must have I'm told he took a couple of test laps at Daytona, so he must have had gas in it.
At one time, right.
I know
You just don't want it to attack that tank. The wrong fuel.
It's not 100% clean either.
Right.
So I think what we're gonna have to do is take the tank off and run the bottle. That's probably the safest thing.
Yeah. You might want to put a clear tube in.
Oh, here, that way you can see
See
it.
it pumping oil.
Oh, that makes sense.
Make sure it's pumping oil. Yeah, put a clear tube in there somewhere. Like this one's got a clear tube up here.
Oh, okay.
So you can see it pumping oil.
Okay.
nice engine.
Yeah, it was one of his race bikes. I don't know which one, but you probably had so many.
My dad rode a lot of different bikes. Oh, man.
So, now we just attack those Osuter clamps.
Right. And that's the only thing to hold them on is that.
Ah!
It must have been stock, huh?
Glued. Scream like a girl. Yeah, this made sense running it on a bottle.
Yeah.
This was not hard to get at.
Right. I might. Of course, that's a, I could put a clear line in here.
Should I take them off?
If you want me to put a, and then that way
we can see that it has oil
let's
moving.
put the clear. It'll be easier to
The
put it
bigger
back
one.
here.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna run for oil. You probably ain't got nothing in the transmission. I'll check that real quick here. Usually just use regular transmission, automatic transmission fluid.
That's fine. It's not like we're gonna be racing it. Oh, that one clamp won't slip over now. Might need to go bigger.
I think you might force it with that screwdriver.
That's what I'm gonna try. He had never sees on the plugs.
Yeah. My dad liked never sees. I got a bunch of them around here. I always put that on the plug.
Oh, they're special plugs too.
Yeah.
They look like, they almost look like the Wankel plugs. With the smooth. Is that what
That's KR. Those are KR plugs. I don't know if those are, that's what they would have ran at this time or not 100%. You know what I'm saying? I don't run them. That's what they would have ran into KRs. If you
that's
we're
fine.
worried about the rings being froze up or something, I use that a lot.
Okay. I just didn't want to do it dry. Hey, that's a plus.
Yeah, watch the oil run out. I think everything's hooked up.
Oh yeah. Where's the filter on these?
This one don't have one.
Does it have a screen?
Usually there's one on the return line in the sump.
Is this a oil cooler?
That's your sump down there.
That bolts on outside.
That's your sump, yeah, right here. This should have a screen on it.
Oh. We're looking at this.
Yeah,
that fitting there.
This fitting here should have a screen on it.
And that's your sump.
Yeah. A replica filter that bolts right here. And you can filter the oil on the return.
Huh.
You have to.
So it goes in with a push rod tube.
Yeah, it bolts right on there. It's cut the right angle. The factory.
Oh, it bolts there, and then you got to put your lines through.
Yeah, then you got to plumb it.
Yeah, all right.
It's a nice piece.
Yeah, I bet.
And that's what the factory actually had.
Yeah.
Something like that on their bikes. you get nervous.
No, I don't get nervous. Nobody screwed with your dad's bike.
Alright, well,
Wow, that's pretty much the time then, huh?
we got spark.
We got spark.
That's good.
We know we have compression. We got oil.
Put the tank on.
Should I use those, put the original plugs back in? Is that what we want to use?
Let's see if I got some like NGKs or something. You got your video camera going?
Yeah.
Do you want me? I want to videotape this. You know, once we get it running, we'll videotape
Well,
it.
you have your
I get that
house
lady.
cleaner.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen the first time.
Right.
It could go boom. I had one catch fire. I blew it out. God forbid.
There's a fire extinguisher right there.
Yeah. So either the float seal isn't sealing because it's so old or it's a little high.
Yeah. We're going to try and start it? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, just hit that red button, all right?
Okay.
See how this goes. It might not run. You got it in high still?
Yeah, I never moved it.
Okay, so that's what we want to start it in.
Because all the way up only went one click, and then all the way down went
Okay.
several clicks. So I don't know what gear it is in, but it's
That's
in
in
high.
high. We had it in high. We didn't. So I can't believe how good that clutch works. Setting all these gears. Yeah, you don't have to. Are you? What are you? Are you
I
good?
got it. I'm watching.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Let's get this going.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, this one.
There you go.
Ready?
I guess.
Throw them both, I guess. Ready?
I thought it was closer. Did you?
The first time.
You got a couple of bumps out of it.
It should just, I mean, I've had them struggle, but not like that. At least we got good oil. Just want to make sure we got some lash.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So you're just gonna figure when the front one's down, the back one's closed, and vice versa?
Right, just kind of.
Should I take the plugs out?
Let's see how it rolls over.
Good luck. Hey, it's Dave from Bullpen Cycles, and we are with George Jr. with his father's bike, and I don't even know what to say. Like, we've never seen this before.
Yeah, well, I've heard of this happening. I've never experienced it, and I can't believe that there was a rag in between the carburetor and the intake manifold, not in the carburetor. Oh. Turn the throttle.
No, I'm gonna get it. Here's our problem. Look at this. Can you see that? Somebody stuffed paper towels in the intake. But who would have guessed? Because the carburetors are actually still safety wired on the intake. In fact, the intakes are still safety wired. So why would you do that? That's why it's not sucking. That's why it's not getting fuel. That's why it's not starting. And if you look, here it is working its way through the intake into the chamber. And hopefully we didn't bend anything. Who would have done that? And that is our problem. So now we're thinking about lunch and scratching our heads and our butts and wondering what to do. Wow. My theory is someone built this motor, had it apart, put the rags in there to keep the dirt out of the cylinders while they were building the motor, and then forgot to pull them out and put the carburetors on, sealed everything up to make it look like it was ready to go.
It wasn't me or Dad, I guarantee that.
Somebody did that. It wasn't, hey, say that again.
It wasn't me or my dad.
Oh my gosh. All right, you ready to see this? What?
So easy.
This one didn't go through.
Stayed right there, huh?
And it's jammed as heck in there. And it's safety wired in there.
Huh?
Well, no, the clamps are.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll work. That was easy. Well, at least we didn't bend a valve on the back cylinder. This is the one we're worried about. Look at that. Yeah, it's a rag. Maybe we can get it out. I don't know.
Wow. That looks insane.
Ta-da! This was shoved in the engine. One on each side. And it smells like fuel. So now, we gotta hope we didn't do any damage. So, and the funny thing is, we squirted oil and turned this over by hand before we even started. We would have never dreamed that someone left a rag in a freaking intake. So hopefully now there's no damage, we didn't bend a valve. So I should be able to roll. Well, it still turns over. That's a plus. Should I throw a compression gauge on or just put it together?
I got that board.
Yeah, but I won't be able to tell if I can tell it it's closing, but I won't be able to tell if it's sealing.
Right. Oh. Okay.
But it doesn't matter either way because it's either going to run or it's not.
Right.
'Cause if it doesn't fire, it's not sealing, and then I know I need to do a valve job on the front.
Yeah, we could do like check the crank and compression. That's hard to do though.
Yeah, I'd have
Let's
to.
just give it a run. I think
All right, I'll put it
got
together.
most of it out.
I got all of it out.
Right. So.
Nice.
So it's only, but thank God it wasn't a paper towel.
Because I'm guessing what that just sucks it into everything.
Yeah, and it would be in the top, it would be in the bottom, it'd be in the oil.
Okay.
It would have munched into sludge, and who knows where it would have ended up.
Yeah. Motor car.
Oh, So here we're just making sure they didn't shove rags in the exhaust pipe or exhaust port. So maybe we're good to go. We're gonna slap it back together. We know we at least should get one cylinder firing because the back cylinder we didn't do any damage to. The front cylinder either gonna fire or it won't. And are we taking any bets? You taking any bets, George? Oh. Well, let's get this together and see what we got.
Let's go with third, I think. That's high, right? There, that's third. As tall as it is, I think that should work. This going.
No sense.
That thing sounds good.
No sense burning all the assembly lube out of it, you know? I mean...